Hey, everybody, welcome back to this episode of The Vortex. I'm your host, Kathleen, the quantum psychic. I don't normally do guest interviews, but today I have a really special guest. We connected on Instagram after you guys saw my content shift into the Yeshua, Mary Magdalene content. And of course, you can see that that resonated with a lot of different people. So I am here to introduce you to Sid McNairy. He is a football, world traveled yoga and meditation teacher. He's also the recipient of the World Peace Award. His journey into healing wasn't something that he planned, it found him, as most of it does for us. In 2016, he was paralyzed, he lost his sight, and what could have been his ending became the beginning. From that experience, Sid awoke into his ability to sing, heal, and coach others into their own transformation. His mission is now to elevate humanity into peace, one person, one frequency at a time. Welcome, Sid.
What's happening?
How are
Good
you?
to be. I'm I'm great. I really am. Uh, I I'm at a point in my life where I can stop and smell the roses. So I love my life. So I'm
What's
great.
that like?
Well, I'd say that in the past it was that I was so I actually had what I'd call a generational curse, which was I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
So because of that, I did everything under the sun. Anything that I knew I had to do it, but even when I would get it, it was like, all right, that wasn't good enough. Let me chase the next thing.
Yeah.
Uh, and so even after winning, getting the World Peace Award, yeah, I that's when I finally figured out, oh, wait a minute, I'm lost here. I need to
Yeah.
figure this
So
out.
that didn't fix you, right?
No, not at
No.
all. Not at
That's
all.
so funny that you brought that up because, like, I believe obviously that's a huge part of my coaching and obviously a huge part of your coaching. But did you see the podcast that was released? I think it was yesterday, which yesterday or the day before we went into Aquarius season with Alex Hermosi. I don't know if you know who that is, and then Tony Robbins. Did you
No,
see
I
that
didn't see it.
podcast at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Alex Hermosi is like some people call him like like the strategy or internet digital marketing king. He's the king of hustle, is what I call him. And he gives a lot of stuff away for free. And he now has a company called Acquisition, and he will like buy companies and help them and scale them and show you how to scale. I've never really resonated with his teachings. Like, I respect the hustle, like anybody who can make millions and billions of dollars. Like, yes, you're doing something. But I never really resonated with his teachings because it's like I could see burnout written all over this page, right?
Mm.
And then he invited Tony Robbins on his podcast. I just finished listening to it this morning. And Tony immediately called him out like, you are never going to be happy because when you make a bunch of money, then what? Then what? You make more money, then you do the next thing. Like, what's your purpose? Like, what's going to fulfill you? And it was so amazing to see this king of hustle basically admit, this is not working for me. This is not
Mm.
working for me. And I think so many of us get to that point where it's like, this isn't working for me, but like now, what do I do? What's next? If everything I get in the external isn't going to work for me, well, where do I find happiness? Where do I find peace?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you could be an adventurer, you could be a meditator, you could be all the different things, a leader. As long as you're doing your heart's purpose, you could go do anything if it
Mhm.
fulfills your heart. So yeah, I
What's
get
like
that.
what's like the number one question that people come to you with? I have the answer already, by the way, when I'm asking.
The
Because
number
people
one
come to
question,
me and they say, well, how do I know my purpose? Do you get that a lot?
yes, from younger people, but then how do I execute my purpose
Mm,
is the next one, I would say, or even how do I get to know God is a big one I get. Uh,
yeah.
just because my life has been from that place of that connection. Uh, so because of what I've done in my life, people tend to say, okay, how'd you get there from that?
Hmm.
Especially the people that knew me when I was like on my board of directors, I have someone from every decade of my life,
Hmm.
even from like 5 years old. Uh, and so because of that, they've all seen me go through the transitions of the angry kid that got in a lot of fights, that became a college boxer and soccer player and went on to coach football and all those things. And then they're like, hold up, did you become Buddhist?
Yeah. What's that like quote? It's like if you knew me in high school, no, you didn't. Like pretend that version of me is dead and gone. Like I don't even recognize her. Please don't use that to judge me through what I'm doing now.
Well, what's funny about that is my wife and I were at the counselors convention of Florida, and
Mhm.
this lady walked by and she said, Sydney McNairy? Because my full name is Sydney. And I turned around. I barely recognized her, but she recognized me because of my wife. She had
Mm.
seen what my wife looks like, and that locked in. And so, and she was my high school Spanish teacher.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So we recently just went, and now we stay at her house. Anytime I go teach in Tampa, we stay at her house.
Mm.
And we went and spoke at the latest, most recent Florida counselor convention. The three of us, myself, Liz, and Laura, all
Mhm.
spoke on the stage. So it was pretty awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, like these connections, I call them like kind of quantum strings of consciousness, like you never know where at what point in your journey or at what stage you are, where that connection, where that relationship is going to, or even moment of like divine intervention and divine reckoning is going to show up for you later on.
Right.
So when you won the 2000 in 2016, you won the Peace Award, the World Peace Award.
2024.
In 2024, you won it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
2016 is when I went paralyzed.
I'm so sorry. So
That's all right.
when was the moment that you just realized that external validation was not going to be the thing that let you finally feel peace?
24, really. So even though I've been doing all of this stuff all over the world, and in 24, I was sitting with my wife and a bunch of other people, and I just led our personal evolution, and she said, Sid, I have a question. What's your most what's the thing that you're most proud of from your life? And I was like, I don't know. I guess all these books. I looked in the screen and I wanted to get over this question. So I was like, all these books behind me.
Look at me. Yeah.
They told me I couldn't write, and obviously I wanted to defy that moment.
Sure.
And then I said, nah, that's not it. She goes, you mean we just got back from an award 2 weeks ago that you were the only person from the US there? You didn't think of that? And I was like, no, I've
Like
already
didn't
moved
even
on.
cross your mind. Like it
No,
didn't even enter your consciousness. The
no.
giant award that you just received, like not even like not even in the periphery even.
Yeah, no, I was like, no. And then it just hit me like, okay, I've been walking around with this curse
Yeah.
of thinking I'm not good enough. And then eventually I got to a point where it was like, okay, it's great because I'm humble about all these things I've done.
Mhm.
But actually I need to take the time to look at, yeah, I've done a lot and it's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like taking that recognition and time for yourself, right? And then even as we're talking about these quantum moments and the people that you've met in your past coming forward, like recognizing your past self in all stages of like however you were at 5 years old and 10 years old and 20 years old, like recognizing, acknowledging, and giving respect and celebration for those versions of you. Because no matter what quote unquote mistakes you made, they weren't mistakes. They were leading you to where you are now, like this beautiful unfolding.
Yeah, it's funny. After we get off of here, I'm gonna call my dad and say, hey, look, those 75 trophies from when I was a kid, don't get rid of them. I got to keep them.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like little you is like, no, put them in a case. Like
Yeah,
highlight all
I'm
those
going to bring them to my
accomplishments.
house.
As you should, as you should. So what did you do to like that is the biggest struggle, right? Because we can have this awareness, we can have this defining moment and recognition of, wow, I don't like myself, or not that that was your case, but like I don't like recognize my worth. I'm not valuing my output or my input. I'm not taking care of myself because I'm not even acknowledging who I am and the depth of what I provide for other people. How did you do that? How did you bridge that gap?
Well, first I committed to it, and I tell people that all the time. You want peace in your life, first thing you got to do is commit to having peace. And then it's one day at a time. It's no different than, not that I was an alcoholic, but it's been 19 years since I've drank alcohol,
Mhm.
and I committed to that. So it's a walk that is daily, and I deep down, it's like, how do you become? I would imagine you're a great mom. How do you become a great mom? You
Yeah, I
can't
like to
tell
think so.
anybody that. You can't tell
Don't ask
anybody
my
that.
kid, don't ask my kids if I'm a great mom, but I think I am.
Right. Like, well, you can tell if you're a great mom or not. Can you tell if you're a great mom? Like, regardless of what my children think about whether or not they enjoyed everything that I did as a parent,
Yeah,
I can look at how they are being in the world and tell you, I think I was pretty good.
handled that pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, even for the parents that are never around their children and their children turn out great, actually, they were great, because if they had stayed around, who knows what that kid would be like.
That's so true. Yeah, I mean, parenthood's a whole nother can of worms. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. That's like what makes me great and like what am I committing to? How am I committing to peace? And like how do you define it? You can't quite, but you can see the external benefits of that peace and that harmony within.
So I'd have to say the thing that, after that, make the commitment, start to walk it. And then I really dove deep into my own teachings.
Hmm.
I really did. The Sutras of Quantum Living. I mean, I meditate every day for 2 hours. So I'm already doing that. But then I also had to say, okay, what got me here isn't what's going to get me where I want to go. Like,
Yes.
I had to make that real time commitment of, okay, if I, and on top of that, I'm very aware that if I knew, I'd be doing it. And I think that's true for every person. So if you're
Yeah.
not doing it, you don't know, you got to go be willing to listen to someone that's actually done it. So I have amazing mentors and people that have been in my life and they've poured into, and they help me become the Sherpa of life for other people, because I knew and I know, if I haven't done it before, I someone else has probably done it. Go find that person.
Yeah, 100%. Like I have so many thoughts on that. But the truth is like, when you are a product of your environment and you look at like quantum leaps or manifestation or, if somebody comes to you, I'm not sure if this is what your clients do, but the top three things that people want to manifest are usually like money, love, and purpose, right? Like those are the three things that people come to me. Like if I can have this, then I'll feel great. And it's like, okay, well, let's start there. That's square one. But the truth is like your external reality is a reflection of your internal world. So when I was at my deep dark point before I heard light language and before my life drastically shifted, it was like everything sucked. My house sucked. Like my kids' anxiety sucked. Like my husband and I really everything sucked because I sucked. Like I just didn't even value myself or my life. Well, now I live in the same house. I have the same kids. I have the same husband. And guess what? I live in a palace, like everything's covered in gold and like everything's a beautiful exchange of energy, but nothing changed in the external. It's all a reflection of the internal world. And I did that by getting myself in the fucking room. I got it, and like I got there by changing a couple of things in my external environment. Like I hired a coach. I started meditating. I started doing and committing, like you said, to the behaviors or to the things that I intuitively felt were going to lead me to that next place, to that next step, the threshold of where I wanted to be.
Hmm. Yeah, I'd have to say that when I mean, I've made many shifts, and my internal world reflected my life every time. Like, I've been married twice or three times now. I had a long relationship in between, a short relationship, and I remember my grandmom telling me I had to get rid of someone in my life,
Mm,
and then said, okay, now here's a process for you. And I'm humbled myself enough to listen to her.
Yeah.
guide my life, and I think so often, again, it goes back to what I call human arrogance. Human arrogance is all the people that think they know. I don't care how much you don't know. Like, really, deep down, you
Yeah.
don't know, except for the little place that we are right now, which is so small in the grand scheme of the universe. So I've just been okay with humbling myself to say, I don't know. And I will find the people that know, and I can listen to them and grow into something else. And it's like right now, at this point in my life, with all the movies and things that we're creating, I don't know.
Yeah.
But when they ask me, hey, you say you want to act your role out for the first movie, I'm like, yeah. And instantly, when I got off that call, I called Glenn Morshower, who's done, I don't know, 40 something movies and leads an acting school. And I said,
Mhm.
Glenn, do you remember when you said I could come sit in on anytime I wanted to come sit in on your acting class? He's like, yeah. I said, well, I want to now. And
Yeah, I'm
I'd
cashing that
like to do
in.
that all the time because I if I'm going to do this, like, it's going to be great. I'm not going to be somebody that doesn't put the effort into it. So that's it. And I'm just okay knowing I don't need to be the smartest person in the room at everything.
Yeah, I was going to say that humility, that is something that will lead anyone farther in life than, your ego ever could, or like, oh, I'm a leader and I'm here and I'm the expert. It's like, okay, like no one is an expert at life. Like no one has all the answers. Like no one. And you can be an expert. You can be the top of your field at something and you may know all there is to know from like a human breadth of knowledge, but like you still don't know anything. Like it's just like a minuscule amount of information that humans can know or like observe and recognize. And so all we have to do is show up open, ready to receive, humble enough to receive the answer from someone who may know a little bit more than us, and then watch and commit to those shifts. And then we can watch that shift and evolution happen for our greatest good. So you
Yeah.
shifted from this external validation to internal validation. You've written all of these books. You coach clients to get to their best selves, their form of leadership, and whatever their purpose is. How are things going now?
Smooth.
Baby.
Smooth in the sense that it's day to day. I mean, that's and I'm not I have meetings, right? Like I had a meeting about all the books and everything yesterday. And so obviously these are future books and future moments and retreats and all these different things. And yet as soon as that's over, I'm like, all right, I'm back in the day. What's going on? What's happening right
Mhm.
now? Am I winning the moments? I I remember telling my son at one point, all right, put up a chart. You know what it is. He played college football and all the different things. And I'm like, all right, chalk it up, man. Put up a W, put up an L for each day.
Mm,
Start making it more W's than L's and
yeah,
figure it out. I don't care if it didn't look like it because that was one moment in the day. Go win the rest of them, you know.
yeah.
So that that mentality for me, the athlete, the coach, the I just keep trying going for it and yes, it is trying, but at the same time I'm doing it and I choose to win all the moments I can.
Yeah, I feel like so something that happens a lot for me is I get a lot of people in my DMs. You're so inspiring. Like one day I hope to do what you did, or like, it's just so incredible to see what you've done. And I am always like flabbergasted, and I still haven't come up with quite the right response because what I want to say is like, okay, go do something about it. Like I didn't like just happen upon this amazing vortex of energy, like tornado through my house. Like I just tapped into the universal consciousness that's available to all of us. And if I can do it, you can do it. I can do it, you can do it. I can do it, you can do it. Go do it. Because these quantum leaps, the success arc isn't like, oh, and one day I woke up and I was in a castle and like all of a sudden I just have this beautiful, beautiful life. Like, no, quantum leaps happen in the small daily actions, the small choices you make every single moment. It's a choice moment to moment to moment. How am I experiencing this? How am I letting this love and light into my life? How am I showing up for myself and for other people? And is this aligned to the vision I have of myself in the future? It's not a bunch of big wins and tournaments and Super Bowls. It's just second by second by second. Am I winning in this moment, in this choice, in this day?
Yeah, I mean, I love that, and I'd say that it's not the destination, it's the process. Like the
Yeah.
destination is all these books. Like, and now I literally sat down on Saturday and said, all right, I got a book I got to write. Well, I cut it off. Like I literally said, I just don't want to open that door because my wife knows if I open that door, then you can cancel the next few days until it's completely out of me.
Yeah.
Uh,
I am channeled. I am channeled. I am locked in, baby. I understand.
and so I really feel like it's just a matter of creating joy around the process.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like, and because your destiny is where you are right now.
Absolutely. Like I always say, like you're never gonna get there. Like when you get there, whatever that like there is, that goal is, the money goal, the fame goal, whatever it is, when you get there, then what? Then you're gonna go there again. Like it's actually again back to that internal world. If you're miserable and think that when you get this amount of money or when you have this amount of client or whatever it is, then you'll be happy. Guess what? You're gonna get there and then you're gonna be like, I'm still not fucking happy, maybe more money, maybe more clients, maybe more events, more talks. Like, again, back to this external purpose. This is your destiny right now, this moment now. And those little small wins that you have literally moment to moment to moment, that's the shift. That's the change. That's the vortex that propels you to your next, I mean, not even destination. That's just the vortex that propels you along your journey because this is the destination right now.
Well, I'm going to give you this one. You have to experience the experiences to become what you're becoming.
Yeah, I know. And people hate that. They hate it. Like
Well, I
everybody
mean, they
wants
only
that
hate it
fast
because they
track to
haven't yet
success.
got, they only hate it because they haven't gotten somewhere that they want to be, you know? And it's,
Yeah.
but then when, at least for me, when I got here and really like the music, the art, the, all these things, right? Like
Hmm.
now I was meant to be able to do all those things or I wouldn't have done them. And now that I've done all those things, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here. I had to have those experiences. I had to have the breakups. I had to have the moments of my children liking me or did not like me. I had to have them all to figure out how to become me. Like really.
Yes.
And so that's okay. It's all perfect. I think
Hmm.
this idea of that I'm human, so I'm not perfect. That's not my story. Everything about me is perfect. Everything.
Perfectly designed. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I always say, like, it's not happening to you. The things in your life are not happening to you. They're happening for you. And that's an easy one, right? But then I even go even further and say, and actually, it has nothing to do with you. It has not, everything that's happened to you is happening for you, and it has nothing to do with you. It's actually has everything to do with the impact you're meant to make in this world, the people that you're meant to help, the story that you're meant to share, and how your frequency, your lived experience becomes the catalyst for other people's growth.
I'm all right. So I'm gonna challenge you on that. Is it
Okay.
about the is it about I don't know if that's necessarily is it about who I'm going to impact or is it just about me?
I think it can
Because
be either or, but I always go back to like you are, like I think of humanity in total, and this is why I think it's about impact, okay? Because it's not about impact of like presence, it's impact of how you interact with somebody at the grocery store, it's impact of how your relationships are. And I can't remember, we'll have to go into this. I can't remember if you were raised in any way religious. I was
Catholic.
raised Catholic. Yeah, okay. So in Catholicism, there's a discussion about the church being everyone, and then we are all one as the church. Okay. Now, I'm not religious anymore. I am obviously very spiritual, but religion has some other paradigms that need to collapse. But when we get back to the core of humanity, like we are mirrors of each other in this moment, our external reality is a mirror of ourself. So everything that's happened to me happened for me, and it has nothing to do with me. Because when I own my divinity and I own who I am and I own my purpose in this world, then I will impact people just as a byproduct of my being. And that will lead other people to catalyze their growth, their ascension into their purpose and being. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. Now here's I just love going in. It's kind of like a koan, right? Like koan
Mhm.
is a statement that you look at it from every angle. You just keep looking at it from every angle. I don't
Yeah.
it's never going to actually define itself out.
Yeah.
And so you said you made a statement about your frequency, your internal frequency creating what you the external experience. Can you have anything other than your internal frequency?
Can I? No.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then it isn't about everybody else. It's only about you because you can only have what's happening inside of you. So if you shift and I shift everything about myself to the highest of myself, I will only see the highest outside of me.
Mm. Yes. I mean, yeah, I agree. But I also think like that highest self of yours that you're owning and embodying, because it's the only thing that you can own and embody, will inspire other people's actions and will inspire other people's purpose in whatever way that that inspiration comes. And even so, in the way that people reject our teachings, or like some people will be like, "Whoa, she's off her rocker. She is crazy. Like, what is she doing?" Like, even that is their reflection of them, and it's their catalyst to growth. So all of it together is this embodiment. And it really, for me, comes down to the fact that humanity at large, like we are each other, we are the earth. There is no separation from divine source consciousness as much as there is no separation that we are a product of creation, that we are a product of this earth. And we all are meant to trigger and awaken the ascension in others by owning our internal frequency.
I dig it.
Dig it. Let's talk about like you in 2016, dying and coming back to
2016.
life,
Yeah.
paralyzing. Tell us about it. That's a pretty inspirational story, and I imagine one that gets talked about a lot because it should.
So 2006 was my first Vision Quest, 2007 second, 2008 was the third, and then I skipped a year in 2010. And so every 7 years you go through a kind of a metamorphosis of sorts, but it takes 7 years for those things to set in.
What's
So,
a vision quest? Explain it to the audience.
yep, Vision Quest is an American Indian custom, Native American custom where you go sit in the mountains 4 days, 3 nights without food or water to connect to spirit, great
Hmm.
spirit. And so I did that all those times and many things in between. And as I got to uh, my native name, Nahi Adonade Nuato Hiadu, which means he who brings peace.
Hmm.
And I took on the mission of bringing the world to peace. Eventually, I was told I had to experience every pain that's ever existed on earth.
Hmm.
And so because of that, that's what happened. It was a blessing.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, so that's what happened, and at one point it just got pain was coming in and out of my body, and it got to a point where it was like, okay, I I need to teach from a wheelchair. If that's
Yeah.
what you want me to do, I'll be okay with it. Um, and all the different things that came along the way, and then the last it was really 2017, but it was the last 10 days. It was right before Christmas, 2 days before Christmas. My children left to go see their mom, and then everything locked up. And the only person around was Liz. And
Your wife, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And she she held space as I had to go through all of that. And
Hmm.
and eventually I was like, look, this because I could feel the pains and every muscle atrophied to my bone, right?
Yeah.
And all I could think was, okay, if it's shutting down every muscle, my heart, what's going to happen?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got some really important muscles in there that really need to keep going.
And so as it got closer, I said, look, I'm pretty sure I'm going to die, but I need you to give me 24 hours. Like, absolutely don't call anybody. I don't want anybody messing with my body. Uh, and fortunately, the first time she was at work, I came down the steps, like slid down the steps and was like, man, I got to get something to eat. I'll figure out how to get back up. Well, when I got to the bottom of the steps, I couldn't stand, I couldn't do anything. And I had my phone in my pocket and I was able to pull it out and I just hit record
Hmm.
and told her, this is it. If you come home and I'm laid on the ground, leave me here. And
Okay.
fortunately she didn't get
Drama.
that. She didn't get that message until after she was done with work. And there were times that I would just pray to God and be like, look, just give me enough strength to wipe my own butt or whatever, so Liz doesn't have to do that. And,
Mhm.
help me. Every once in a while, I'd get like use of one arm and I could pull up so I could sit up and then I'd fall back down or whatever. But
Are you seeking any medical attention at this time? Any medical
I had
treatment,
already been
traditional
through,
medical?
I had already been through too many doctors and I was like, I absolutely refuse to become the next Lou Gehrig.
Okay.
I didn't want to be the next name of a disease. And so, and then my friend Matt Dundonis called and he's like, hey, my brother, his adopted brother that looked like me, he said he died when he wouldn't go to the doctor. So I have this doctor. Will you go see him, please? I was like, dude, I'm only going because you have this idea that I'm going to die if I don't go. And I'm
Yeah.
not looking to manifest that. So I'll go, I'll go see him. So I did, Dr. Hun, which happened to be Liz's maiden name.
Mm.
And so I went to see him and we get in and there's all these things going on. It's like the Matrix. I paint. And at the time I had painted, I used to paint my pain out of my body. So I had painted 130 something paintings for this gallery.
Yeah.
And when we walked in, the paintings that I was like, I want to keep these, they were actually in the waiting room of this doctor's office. Like, but
Mm.
different. Like I'm an abstract painter. So like if it was a beach scene, it was a beach scene, but abstract.
Sure.
The same beach scene was in his office, but real, right?
Mm.
And so they were all sitting there, and eventually he brought me in. Liz came back, and he started probing me with questions, and I just started crying.
Yeah.
And he took his finger and put it into my third eye,
Yeah.
and all this energy started coming back in my body.
Mm.
Then he said, "Now I want you to get up and go to the table." And Liz, he had told Liz she couldn't talk or couldn't do anything, so she was like
Love that.
meditating, eyes
Big
closed,
boundary center in that for that clinical experience.
eyes closed. She's not looking. Well, she's got my crutches, so I
Yeah.
I mean I was walking through like I had palsy, right? Like,
Mhm.
so I hear the voice that I've been hearing since I was 3 saying, "Get up now, or never get up."
Mm.
And so I did everything in my power to stand up and fall over to the table. And then he did acupuncture. And then I started feeling like, okay, I can feel how this is going to come back. And he's like, so you're going to need to see me 3 more times. I need to do this 4 times. And so I came the next time, and eventually I was able to drive myself. And on the 4th time, I called Liz and I was like, hey, I know you're going to be late, so I'm going to just go ahead and go. I can drive. I feel comfortable. I'm good. Uh,
Wow.
I can make it. And so I get there and go to the building, walk upstairs, and there's nobody there. There's no furniture, there's nothing.
Oh,
And and Liz's mom ended up going to see a person for some stuff in the same building, and they've never been back. Just
okay.
empty.
Like, what were they ever there to begin with? That's like the real question. Like, was it all a mirage?
I mean, I've had several experiences in my life where it's like I've tapped into another dimension,
Sure.
uh, that's the only thing I can relate to him. Now,
Yeah.
I ran into the same type of looking person another time in my life. And then recently, when this all used to be called the Art of Peaceful Living, before that, it was Nahi Wellness. Before that, it was Sid Yoga. Before that, it was all names have changed.
Yeah.
And so it was Art of Peaceful Living. And a guy contacted me and said, "Hey, I want to create a jewelry line around what you do." I
Hmm.
was like, "Okay." And he was like,
Obviously.
"Yeah." And then he's just like, "But we have to come up with a different name. It
Mhm.
can't be Modern Monk because that's where we were right before that." He's like, "Because some people were resistant. We want to make sure that we are able to access these people." So we went through this whole naming process of, all right, well, I'm creating the human album. I've got autobiography of a human, and I'm all about humans. He's like, I like it. Nobody should
Mhm.
reject being a human. And then he's like, well, maybe we have it as two names. And I'm like, human. Well, I've got the philosophy of understand. That's the other thing. He's like, I like that. It could be high. And he said, but people may struggle with interpreting what understand is.
Mm.
So what if we just went with understand? And I
Mhm.
was like, okay, Hugh, let me think about that. Before I just say yes to
Mhm.
this shift that's changing my whole brand that's
Yeah.
been around forever. Uh, Let me just check in. I checked in with one of the people on the team, Nicole, and she said, I've been chanting Hugh for years
Mm.
because Hugh is the original name for God.
Mm. Yeah.
It is the ancient way they said God. And it was just kind of like a joke because uh, Those Who Know God was a book I wrote in 2022, published in 2022. And I went to speak at this place, and they were going to buy all their employees the copy of the books, 85,000 employees.
Mhm.
And they said, we can't because it says God.
Mm.
And then I go full circle to now human understanding, Hugh. And it's like God had the joke. The joke, I think God has to have the best sense of humor. And yeah, it became Hugh is
Became your new
God.
brand. Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, the next time you tell this story to anybody, you have to remove the giant book that says Hugh behind because it takes away from the punchline. Okay. We already knew where it was going. It's right behind you. Guys, that's the name of his book. That's the name of his brand, The Human Understanding, Hugh.
Yes. So
I
yeah.
feel like so they didn't want to buy the book because the name God, right? Like I feel like two things I want to make points on. Number one, that experience is incredible. And also, I have met with so many people who have these divine stories of healing and the modalities that are becoming mainstream or like miracles, like I call them that. And whenever somebody tells me, like, you won't believe it, I did a meditation and such client came, or I did this, and then I made 7 sales during this meditation. It's like, that's a miracle. Call it a miracle. Like call it what it is. It's a miracle. What is a miracle? What is magic? What have we made these words mean about our human experience? And what are we going to now allow into our consciousness and recognize the power we have, right? So these miracles of medical like revelation or things that have happened to people. Like I had a healer come to me. I had a lot of people know this story, but I had my meniscus removed when I was 16. And so I'm a runner. I would run all the time. And as I got older, especially after having children, I could run maybe like a third of a mile and have to ice my knee because it was in so much pain. The cartilage was removed. Just it's like sounds like a box of bricks every time I bend my knee or go up the stairs. And this was right before my awakening. I remember my healer came to me. She tapped on my left knee, which is not the problem. I felt it in my right knee. And that day, I was able to run 3 miles, no stopping. And I did it over and over and over again. And I believe like that had to happen because running for me was such a beautiful way for energy to move out of my body that I needed to move energy like quickly and out of my body so I could receive the light that was coming in. That's a miracle. Like your story is a miracle. Mine is a miracle that these energetic modalities are happening. And I think like the more and more we get people to talk about them and to make them like, yes, this is happening on a grand scale, the more we can normalize this coming into our medical system, this really changing the paradigm of health and like how people relate to their energetic field and how they relate to God. what is God, and like what have we made it mean? And when they rejected like buying this book to give to the employees because the name God was on it, well, what have people done with that name? Have made it a taboo type thing that we can't talk about anymore. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And I just stumbled across my aunt, an interview she had, and she was like, well, what if we just made it that no word is a bad word?
Yeah.
What if every word is just a word? It's nothing, it's just a word. We've
Yeah.
given it all the meaning. So stop giving it the meaning. And even, and I've got a Course of Miracles behind me. My grandmother was the first teacher of A Course in Miracles. I love A Course in Miracles. Yet everything is a miracle.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, of course it's a miracle, but so is everything else. So
Yeah. So is breathing. Yeah.
let's not
So is
get
your
caught
heart
up in that.
beating.
If we don't get caught up in the fact that it's a miracle and let it just be let it be what's possible. It's really possible for everyone to be healthy. It's really possible for people to have relationships that don't argue. It's really possible for everything to be heaven on earth.
Yes, I could talk about this for hours. I really could because it's like take that to like there are no bad words. There are no bad words. It's just the perception that is applied, right? There is no bad experiences or good experiences. It's the perception that is applied that changes how we perceive this action or inaction or word or experience or whatever it is. And if you can neutralize everything in your life and then begin to say like I am a walking miracle, or like I am, right? I am, and become just in flow and neutrality with the consciousness that is in all around you, that is you.
Mhm.
Well, then you can really eliminate all these illusions that aren't real. The one, what did you say? I'm not good enough, or like, will I ever be good enough at the very beginning? Like, that is a generational curse that's been passed to you. It's an illusion that's been given to you through lifetimes, and you get to decide, like, what is true? What could be more true? What am I? What am I really? And you get to decide every day.
Right. No, I love that. I mean, it's really has nothing to do with the words. It's all the essence that comes through.
Yeah, I find this a lot with people with money when we're talking about like generational curses and with the wealth gap and like talking to people about how to create wealth. Well, like nothing will change in a financial situation for someone. And then they'll come to me and be like, I'm broke. I'm broke. I can't do this. Like, I'm like, okay, what happened? Like, what changed? Did someone come and steal everything from you? And like, that doesn't mean you're broke either, but what happened? I don't know, it's just too much and like da, da, da. And it's like, okay, let's reorient ourselves. Like, where did that come from? Where did that trigger? Like, what are we making the amount of money, success, fame, popularity, like health, abundance, whatever? What are we making that mean about ourselves? And people do it all the time. It's like the curse of being human.
Yeah. I mean, it all right now in my brain, it just goes back to human arrogance of thinking that I know or thinking I need to control something. And it, no, I don't actually.
No,
I
you
don't.
don't. I think like I've had a lot of content recently about Adam and Eve and like Eve ate the fruit and then Adam blamed Eve and then Adam blamed God. And it's like actually like the original sin in some ways was, you can say if it's factual story or a parable or whatever you want to call it, but original sin, what humans are born for or born with, is understanding that we were born with the misunderstanding that we are separate from anything, that we are separate from source, that we are separate from this, and everything else, this fear and this lack and this scarcity and this consciousness that we feel like, how do I get there? It's all about like receiving. And I think like baptism, cleansing, water is usually like linked to intuition. So most of like the water signs are really intuitive. Like actually, it's not the ritual of dunking yourself in water and proclaiming like Lord Jesus Christ is your savior. It's actually that when you receive divine guidance, when you let your intuition work through you and you understand that you are the vessel to receive and you are the divine instrument that is here to do your work in this world in whatever capacity it is, that is when you can understand that it's all neutral, coming back to neutrality.
Yeah. No, I think you just touched on something really big if anyone's listening. Like if they just look inside, everything that is ever needed is already inside. Now, yes, you might need someone to help guide you deeper into that looking into that space. That's what it is. We're here to really walk with each other until we go home.
100%. Yeah, I think like, yeah, there's no, I don't think maybe there are people who can. I'm not one of them. Like I've always needed just someone else to bounce this off of because you're human. You get back into these neural programming loops of like what has generationally been given to you. And so it's always helpful to have somebody else in the room to say, okay, is that true? Like, talk to me. Is that true? Or like, what do you know? Like, what does your body know? What does your soul know? And let
Hmm.
that truth speak to you rather than fear.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think that um, I've just been blessed to have people in my life, all my life, that have been able to hear me
Yeah.
and guide, and make sure I'm not just touching the burning stove. I didn't have to learn
Literally
through
and
all of it.
metaphorically.
Right. Like
So your grandmother, she was the one of the first instructors for the Course in Miracles. Is that what you said?
the first, yes.
The first, excuse me, the first instructor for A Course in Miracles. And she was instrumental in your awakening and journey too, right?
Yes. Yes. So this is my adopted grandmother.
Hmm.
Uh, and when Helen was writing A Course in Miracles, when it was scribing through her, she was, before it ever even became a book, she would hand pages to my grandmother and say,
Yeah.
and then she had 35 people at the first time they offered it. And yeah, she's been teaching it ever since. So that was back in the 80s. Uh,
Yeah. I think I have it right here. Let me see. You betcha I do.
all right, let's do this.
Oh,
Just open it to any page and read on the left hand side, second paragraph. See what it says.
oh, that's funny. It's about let's see. Okay. Is it a sacrifice to leave littleness behind and wander not in vain? It is not sacrifice to wake to glory, but it is sacrifice to accept anything less than glory. Learn that you must be worthy of the Prince of Peace, born in you in honor of him whose host you are. You know not what love means because you have sought to purchase it with little gifts. I think this is speaking on Christmas, the paragraph before. Thus valuing it too little to understand its magnitude. Love is not little, and love dwells in you, for you are host to him. Just before the greatness that lives in you, you pour appreciation of yourself, and all the little offerings you give slip into nothingness.
I love it. Love it.
Love. I have to admit, I have not read this whole thing because it is kind of heavy, but
Well, you're not supposed to just read it. You're
right.
supposed to actually go through and read the teacher's manual first,
Mhm.
and then you go back and do a lesson a week, a lesson a day, because that's how that book is written. And then
Mhm.
you do a chapter a week, but you only do 3 chapters a month. If you're short on the fourth week, you go back and catch up by
Okay.
finishing those three. So that's part of, I think that's what makes that book difficult for some people, because if they don't have a guide, most people don't go and read the instructions, the introduction and all those things, and
Yeah.
actually know what to do with the book in hand. And so, yeah, it's not meant to be consumed like we consume everything else.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the most difficult is just, remembering to do it. But now that I pulled it out of a drawer and it's sitting in front of my computer, perhaps I can start my day doing
There
that
you
instead.
go. Yeah. And
Amazing.
I did it for 10 years straight. Um,
Yeah.
you know, over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And uh, and then finally it landed on one of the lessons. I'm not even going to say what the lesson was, but it landed on the lesson and it was like, oh, okay, I got to stop. I got to stop and go do what it's asking me to do.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Got it. So the journey is the destination, but your journey is for world peace. Is that correct?
That's my true north. Like if it's bringing peace, I'm going to step into it. If
Sure.
it's doing something else, it's not in my life.
So what is your like vision for that? Or do you have one? Like I typically will open myself up for guidance. I will call in my highest timeline, and highest is obviously a word and perspective is applied. So for highest for me, it's like the one that gives me the most peace, the one that gives me the most joy, the one that makes me feel most fulfilled, and the one where I know that I'm impacting the people that I'm meant to impact, not a number or velocity or, exponential. It's just the what I'm meant to impact in this lifetime. And then I tune into that timeline and I allow myself to receive guidance and what do I need to do today? My moment to moment choice. What's my part in this right now? So for you, world peace, like everything I do, everything I'm like, I'm just doing it. I just know that that's the goal or like that's what I'm working in this journey. So do you have like a envision? Like what is that vision?
I mean, the way I see it right now and the way it's been executed, and I can share it because it's already in play, right? Like I
Mhm.
I'm somebody that keeps when God gives me a message, I keep it to myself until it's been revealed. Well, it's already in a book, so it's hard to
Reveal it.
argue that it's human understanding and really helping everyone know how to be with God and remember how connected they are with God, which then looks like um, the music, the movies, all these different ways for people to see it, be it, and live it in every
Yeah.
way. So that's it. Um, that's the broad stroke of what's happening, and I'd have to say on a easier for someone listening to get what I'm talking about. I see myself as the next Spike Lee.
I don't even know who that is. Let me look.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I something about me, Sid, is I was homeschooled, and so I did not have a lot of like outside influence. So, okay, I thought he was a filmmaker. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I know everyone's like, "Oh my God, that is so embarrassing, Kathleen." Like listening to this, but I like do not get any pop culture references at all. Even so you were also we haven't even touched on that. We're almost out of time, but you were also trained in yoga by Baron Baptiste. Is that correct?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You
In
you told me
2004.
that before, and I like after we talked, I went and looked. And I was like, I know exactly who this is, but like at the time, like what?
My two yoga teachers were Baron and Rodney Yee and Baron Baptiste. So
Rodney.
Rodney came into my life while I was coaching football, and someone said you should go grab his video so you can recover from ankle surgery. I did. Next thing you know, in 2004, he was the first person I went to train with when I was already teaching yoga. And then same year, Baron came into my life, and they both had the same teacher, Iyengar.
Mm.
Uh, so yeah, it's been amazing to look back. Just the other day, I got to be with Baron on a Zoom thing, and to look back and realize, man, this dude's just we haven't been together all the time, but we keep intersecting at different moments. It's like a DNA strand, right? Like
Sure.
so it's just been awesome. I'm very appreciative that it says a lot for him. It also says something for myself that I have a teacher that I still have in my life.
Yeah.
If your teacher isn't in your life, you didn't get the lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't about your teacher because the teacher is only as good as the student that they have.
Yeah.
I know that about myself. Like I know that I've had some amazing students that have pulled all this stuff out of me
Yeah.
because
Greatness.
in order to teach, to be the person sitting in the seat of teacher, I had to become what they needed too.
Yeah.
It says it in the Course of Miracles. Most people, you could probably complete this sentence. When the student is ready,
The teacher appears.
well, in the Course of Miracles, it says that's wrong. It's
Yeah.
when the teacher is ready, the student appears because the student can only appear when the teacher knows what they're doing.
Yeah. And then I find too, like my teacher, her and I have been together for 2 years now. And it's like when I'm struggling with something, I know that she knows this because she teaches me this with my clients, is that she needs to focus on that within herself. And energetically, when she clears that, it's like, oh yeah, everything's going really well for me now. And it's because like I'm obviously mirroring something back to her and her to me. And that goes with my clients as well. When they come to me with the problem, I'm like, okay, where am I not owning that? Like, where do I need to energetically clear that? Because my progression is their progression. It's all like going back to what I said with that ascension, the one, we're all one kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all this like evolution of humanity together.
absolutely. I mean, and it's if I am you, we're not nobody separated.
Hmm.
When I lift myself up, I will see everybody as liberated.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that when same guy Matt Dundonis wanted to send me to the doctor. Uh, one day he asked me, this is back in like 2008. He's like, Sid, what would happen if you saw everybody as liberated?
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, why don't I? What is it about me that doesn't allow me to see the greatness in everybody I see? Which is the fourth vision quest. Fourth vision quest is about walking the red road and seeing the divine in everything that we see. Well, I can
Mm.
only see the divine in everything that I see if I am divine on the inside first.
Yeah. Ugh, yeah, that's so true. It's like about anything. Like you see somebody that's made, like I tell people this all the time. Like you can come to me and say, "Oh, well, so and so did this in sales or did this or did that." I'm like, "Okay," and I'm jealous and I'm angry and I'm mad and I'm like, "Okay, if she can do it, you can do it." Like it's an ownership of that reflection and what's possible for you rather than I'll never get there. And it's all an illusion. It's all made up. It's all fairy dust. It's all foo-foo.
I mean, nothing is real.
Nothing, not even this, not even this. Like, what really, where I started, like the quantum psychic thing, like where that all came from is like, I have a tarot card right here, so I'll hold it up. Oh, the Hermit, love that. So, the Hermit in this tarot card, it's like everything is made up of atoms, and these atoms are made up of like parts and pieces, electrons, neutrons, protons. We know that at least. But like 99.9% of everything you see, touch, feel is energy. It's only 0.1% matter. It's like they don't even know why your hand doesn't go through a desk when you put your hand on the desk. They don't know why. They can't tell you other than, well, we just know that it's everything's energy. It's not even real. It's not real. It's all made up.
Yeah. Uh,
Think about
they
that
don't
brain
know.
bender.
They don't know, but I mean, sometimes you can't tell everybody all the things because if they are still living in that whatever level they are at in the process of becoming, they'll
Yeah.
only see from that place anyway. It's like read the Course of Miracles, go through the whole thing for a year, and I've done it, and I've done it over and over and over again, 10 years
Yeah.
until it took 10 years for me to get to, oh, that's what you were saying.
That's
And
commitment, Sid.
every time it was different. Every time I saw something
Oh,
different, every
yeah.
time I read it. My grandma, when she first was given the folder to read and teach, when she showed up for the first lesson, she was like, he was like, all right, Jeannie, it's yours. Take it away. She's like, I can't. He's like, what are you
Mhm.
talking about? She's like, I can't read it. The book is in Arabic. Why'd y'all give me an Arabic copy? And and
Big
he's like,
barrier to entry.
it is not in Arabic. And
Yeah.
she's like, in my mind, it's all in Arabic. And then
Mm.
Jesus came in and told her what to do, which was leading our healing breath work that we do. You do that breath work that you do,
Yeah.
and then it shifted to being in English.
Yeah. I know. Like my clients will come back to me and say, like, are you videos infused with frequency? This is not like to toot my own horn. This is like any media you consume. Are your videos like infused with frequency? Because I feel like every time I listen to it, I get a different message. Like, yes, they are. Like everything I put out is channeled. It is like Yeshua, Jesus moving through me. It's God moving through me and what's meant to be said. But it's your frequency that's receiving that allows you to see deeper and deeper layers that need to be integrated, that are coming up to be healed. And that happens for me if I listen to like there's an Abraham Hicks like voice or video thing I listen to often. And every time I listen to it, I get a different message, a different thing. So I would imagine that this as well is absolutely full of frequency, full of code source information that is received at the frequency that the receiver is vibrating at.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y- it isn't that the book shifts, it's the one that's seeing it shifts every time it comes up. So then it's going to be different because the person reading it or hearing it or experiencing it is different because you can't undo what you know.
100%. Absolutely. Is there anything you want to tell our audience about peace before we close out the show?
Peace is the foundation that allows you access to love. Without having peace, you
Mm.
won't experience love. And when you don't have peace, you fall into the illusion because peace is the foundation that you need first and foremost to access love. And so when it comes to the Prince of Peace or myself, the bringer of peace, like that's why so often I'll be with people and they seem so peaceful, but then they go away and it's like, what do you mean you're struggling? I didn't even know that. Like, because they're in that vibration and until you do the work, like I've done ayahuasca, I've done peyote, I've done DMT for 6 months. I've done it. I've went through the gamut of things.
Yeah.
You get to enter the house of the Lord until you've done the work to walk in yourself.
Yeah, 100%. And it's all internal. And I've actually never heard that like peace is the foundation for love. But you're right. Like it is. It's all
I mean, look
peace
at your own
first.
life. Anybody watching this can look at their own life. When you're in an argument with somebody, you don't have peace in that moment. Are you sitting there saying, "Oh, we've got so much love"?
Yeah,
No.
I love you. We'll get through it together.
Yeah, like no. You're like, get away from me. This does not feel like love.
Yeah,
And then
for
when the
sure.
peace comes back, you're like, oh, maybe I do love you.
Mhm.
There's a common denominator there.
Yeah, and love is like really everything. Like the common manifestation talks about like, oh, express gratitude. And like, yes, gratitude is close, but really love is the key that opens the door. Like when you can really feel unfiltered, unadulterated, like pure love within your heart and soul. Again, like you're just so connected to the universe.
And the definition of love, as I received from the Universal Council, love is the reflection of your connection to the source.
Hmm.
So everything is love. Love is everything. Most people get that, but they don't actually live it because love is everything. So something that you hate, you actually love it on a low vibration. Something that you love and want to be with all the time, that's just a different vibration and expression of love. But love is everything. So when you can't see something as love, you actually are living in the illusion. But love is everything. And when you finally find peace with it, on whatever everything is, that's why the highest frequency you can actually get to, Dr. David Hawkins, is peace. Because
Hmm.
when you're at peace with everything, you accept everything, it becomes unconditional peace. And the next step is enlightenment. So if you really want to know how to get there, you can come see the peace guy. We can walk there.
Yeah, perfect. Oh my gosh, this was so fun. I will have all of your links here below. If you have any upcoming projects you want us to check out, where can people find you? Like, we'll include all the links, but if you want to give a shout out, where can people find you?
Well, sidmcnairy.com, Sid McNairy on all the social medias. I mean, you'll find the same picture on the cover of the book. You'll find on all my social media platforms. I'm just who I am. So it's Sid McNairy, and then you can go type in Sid McNairy on Amazon. You'll find all the books, all 12 books, and all the different stuff. And just keep tracking Sid McNairy, and you'll find it all.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being in the Vortex.
Awesome. Thank you.